All right, I had a subscriber request that I do a video on this, but do it in quick format, so I'm not really explaining and going into deep understanding as to the why with most of this stuff. So here's the nitty gritty. Let me show you how to write a quadratic equation given a parabola, none of the mumbo jumbo. Got 3 points, x-intercepts vertex. Because I have a vertex, we're gonna write it out in vertex form. Vertex form, for those of you that may not know, is written out like this. If you don't know that, then you probably don't want to be watching this video because I'm not going to go into much detail about it. H and K are a vertex. That's going to be a negative 17. Put an X down, squared, 20 comes out here. And again, those of you that are watching this video right now, please keep in mind, most of my videos I do go into detail, but this is for a specific subscriber that just wants a quick video given to them. All right, I know an X and I know a Y. I know those, I know those, I know those. So let's steal 7 and 0. I'm going to put a 7 in right here. When I use 7, I have to use 0 for y, so let's change y to a 0. 7 minus 17 is going to give me negative 10. Bring the a over, equal to 0. Negative 10 squared becomes 100, so I'm going to get 100, and a times 100, so let's just write it out as 100a. We're in a two-step equation, inverse operate. Inverse operate. So I get a equals, does that show up? Yeah, a equals negative 20 divided by 100. Negative 20 divided by 100 is going to be equal to negative 2/10, or negative 1/5. That's what I'd be using right there for a. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the work that we just did. Real quick breakdown. Vertex form, we know H and K are a vertex, so I just stole those numbers from the image, plugged them in, expanded, or sorry, I lied. I replaced X. I replaced Y. Simplified, solved. Now I know what A is equal to. Okay, now that I know what A is equal to, I'm going to plug that back in up here. I'll leave X and Y alone. I'll keep these my new numbers, and we'll convert to standard form. So I'm a big fan of standard form. I don't like working out of a vertex form very often at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase. I'm going to say y equals. Now my a turns into my new number. X minus 17 squared plus 20. And if you were on a test being asked to write it out in standard form, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c, we've got to do some things to this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take x minus 17, I'm going to square it. Okay, so x minus 17 times x minus 17. Okay, I'll have to multiply negative 1/5 times whatever I get. I'll get a trinomial down here. And then we'll add 20 at the very end. So FOIL method, x times x is x squared, x times negative 17 is negative 17x, negative 17 times x is negative 17x, and negative 17 times negative 17. Negative times negative makes a positive, and 17 times 17 is 289. Sorry about that 8. Okay, keep this in parentheses, remember. Combine your like terms. Now I have x squared minus 34x plus 289 kept within the parentheses because the plus 20 needs to be on the outside. We don't want to multiply that 20 by this negative 1/5. Negative 1/5 should only be multiplied by whatever this turns into. So here we go. Distribute, distribute, distribute. I'm going to go from fractions into decimals here. It'll probably be a little bit easier. Negative 1/5 times x squared is negative 1/5 x squared. I can now convert that into a decimal, which is negative 1/5, meaning negative 0.2. There we go. All right, so negative 0.2x squared, or negative 2/10 x squared. Negative 1/5 times negative 34x. 34 on top divided by 5 would give me a negative and negative, make a positive. This comes out to 6.8. You may just want to type this into a calculator. Negative 1 divided by 5, enter, times negative 34. This is what you're gonna end up getting. I'll use a calculator for the 289. So 289 times negative 1/5, 289. I got negative 57.8 or 8/10 plus 20. Negative 57 and 8/10 plus 20 becomes negative 37 and 8/10 right there. And we are done, folks. Bring it down. 6.8x plus negative 2/10 x squared. Put the y equals in the front and box it up because you are done, son. You got this, okay? So take a peek. What do we all do? Vertex form because I was provided a vertex. I don't know what A is until after I use vertex form to solve for A. Once I've solved for A, I plug A back into the original vertex form with a new value for A, H, and K. Y and X stay Y and X. And then I work my way down to convert it through the FOIL method. All right, that's what it's all about, learning how to do new things. Quadratic equations, they are tricky. There's 3 different forms to work out of, but once you really understand what each form is doing for you and why we have the 3 different forms, you can convert in and out of any of them, get the one that you want, and use it. Study hard and good luck on your upcoming test.